All right, welcome back. We continue our discussion with the Pittsburgh Steelers, now 2-4. So, Andrew, I want to talk to you about outlooks now.
Yeah.
A lot of people react game to game. It's unbelievable. We do call-in shows. You do them. You all see. People will now automatically think the Steelers have a chance to win a division. I'm not going to go there. But does it change your outlook on what you see the next 2 weeks, at least, heading into the bye week?
They got to win one more of these two games. If they can beat Miami or somehow beat Philadelphia and get to 3-5, you get to your bye week, you come out of it with 2 home games. New Orleans is in a big funk. You've already shown you can beat Cincinnati this year. They're 500. Yeah, it's a totally different scenario, but you've got to follow this up with another win. If you go in 2-6 compared to 3-5, is a world of difference, I think, psychologically for this team. To come back from 4 games under 500, I don't think they'll have enough games to do that. They've got
even in a mediocre league, which right now has everyone just about at 500.
No, I think they got to beat Miami or Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it goes right back to where it was if they lose one of these next 2 weeks. And the performance has to be solid, too. I don't feel like you can just skate by like a 9-6 win. I'm not going to be feeling a lot better. But, I mean, if the run defense, to Jeff's point earlier, if that shows up, if they play the way they did on defense and actually, like, get some guys back and maintain the level we saw today, I would feel better about their chances. Like, there could at least be something there.
Well, listen, I want to celebrate this win. The Steelers just beat Tom Brady with an undermanned defense. Right. So celebrate that win, because I still think this is a rebuilding team. That doesn't change my mind at all.
Does winning these games go against the rebuild?
I don't know. Look out, Kansas City. Like, I'm not having that feeling. No. Or look out, Buffalo. We saw that last week.
If they beat Miami, you don't think they can backdoor their way into the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this is a playoff team. I'm not. There are too many holes on offense.
How about if they do it?
If they beat Miami, I mean,
if they're 3-5 and Watt's coming to the rescue in 2 weeks, you're not going to start to think they're a playoff.
Especially if Cleveland's 3-5 and everybody else is in the same boat. I mean, watching Baltimore today, they weren't all that good.
A mathematical playoff team and a figurative playoff team might be two different things. Like, you might be able to back your way into it, but they're no threat. I mean, come on.
Are they a factor in the AFC?
Right, that's what you're saying.
I mean, the team that's the class of the AFC, they lost by 5 touchdowns to. So in that respect, no. But bad teams, they were a bad team last year. They made the playoffs.
But what are they playing for? A Super Bowl every year, right? They would not be a Super Bowl contender.
No.
I
don't think anyone here would disagree
into the
with
playoffs?
That.
Sure, and then get hammered in the first round.
No, but I think their goal is to make the playoffs. I don't think they see themselves as a rebuilding team.
Well, of course, they don't. No, that's why Mitch started at the beginning, because they see themselves as, if the defense can win us games, we get into the playoffs, who knows what can happen. I'm just saying, from my standpoint, they're not a huge factor in the AFC.
Jason, let me ask you about the defense, because I think a lot of people get on Mike Tomlin. I thought this was a tremendous effort by him, by Austin, by Flores, all of them together to do what they did with that many guys out. I did not see that coming. Talk to me why you think it happened, and why were these guys able to come in, practice squad guys, and move right in?
I mean, the simplicity of it, Pomp. I think Tomlin talked about that after. I mean, you just try to work within your limitations. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to fly around and think that you're some all-pro corner. I don't know whether we can apply that label to Akello Witherspoon or whatever. Some guys, I think, probably thought a little bit too much of themselves. Just simplify the game and create a scheme that puts those guys in that position. Don't let anybody get too far away from a defender would be a simple way of putting it. I thought Devin Bush was really good. I thought Larry Ogunjobi was really good. I mentioned the run point earlier. They were excellent against the run, the best they've been all season. And, I mean, it's not a complicated formula. Put some pressure on the quarterback. They did. Stop the run. They did. Defend the pass a little bit. They did.
It helps to have an immobile quarterback, though.
Yeah,
that's one thing they can count on themselves.
Rushing coverage, right? Rushing coverage. And they did. And, hey, kudos to the middle linebackers. They've been getting hammered, and rightly so in most standpoints, but Miles Jack had a really nice game. Devin Bush had that huge play, and Spillane was singled out by Tomlin after the game for the way he played.
I thought the Bush play and then Claypool and Trubisky, though, ultimately bailed out Tomlin. Because if that 2-point play gets made and they go to overtime or they don't win in regulation, what happened at the end of the first half?
That's what I was going to ask you next.
It is unacceptable. It is inexcusable that a coach that's been around for a decade and a half does not understand how to manage the clock in the game in that situation. I'm sorry. And it's gone unchecked, and they brought Austin in initially, but he's just going to do his thing. And it almost cost them the game today. It really did.
For those who don't remember that, it's right before halftime at the 14-yard line. And if you choose to just run out the clock, the best way to do is run 3 plays because they only have 2 timeouts. You burn them. Instead, they threw on first down, incomplete. Next thing you know, they're running twice, giving them the ball. It cost them 3 points. I didn't think it was very good at all. And that's kind of stuff that typically will hurt a team, especially one that doesn't score as much as the Steelers.
And I think as Kenny gets more experience, he would know, okay, instead of just throwing this away, go down and take the sack. You know, knowing that situation not to do it. They were trying to be aggressive in a time where they shouldn't have been aggressive.
Yeah, and that's something that, I mean, I feel like we made that deal with playing Kenny. You're going to have to learn. They made another point during the game where he actually threw a pass or flipped a pass out instead of taking a sack for like a six-yard loss. I mean, there's just like little nuanced things, but Kenny has to understand that situation better. Not absolving Tomlin by any stretch, but I mean, that's the type of stuff you have to deal with a young quarterback, right?
Their game planning defensively was incredible, but I think that it would have taken a hit, and we wouldn't be praising that.
Even if Trubisky doesn't recover that bad snap by Mason Cole, that set up a 3rd and 16, and then they converted on that play. It was a wild game, a lot of big moments in the second half, especially not a very exciting game in the first half, but it came to life late in the game, and the Steelers get a win. We have more coming up. Don't go away. We're going to talk about some Pirates stuff with regard to Ben Cherington and his seemingly unwillingness to spend money, even though it's not his. We'll talk about it next, right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.